Hi Pisces, my name is Audrey Alison and this is your July 2015 forecast for the month. Thanks for joining me. I'm very happy to be here and thank you for subscribing to my channel. We're going to start July with a full moon on the 1st, and this full moon is at 9 degrees of Capricorn, an earth sign. This is in your 11th house of friendships and goals and social clubs and groups and organizations. And a full moon is bringing an illumination and an awareness to this sector. Now, this isn't our only full moon we'll experience in July. We're going to have two. So when you have two full moons in 1 month, we have our second one on the 31st. That is a blue moon. The first full moon is on the 1st, and that's in Capricorn, and she'll be shining brightly. And this is illuminating some of your goals. And you could be maybe ending a goal, a hobby, a group, a club, something that you have finished around the top of the month in July. Mercury makes his exit out of Gemini, where he retrograded and went through. He's been there a minute. Kind of glad to see him gone out of Gemini a little bit. It's been a little bit zingy. You know, he rules that sign naturally, so the information can come in at warp speed. So he makes his transit now into Cancer, sister water sign for you. Pisces, this is in your 5th house of fun. Yes, details, information, the analyzation of information with Mercury, writing, speech, the 5th house of true love and romance, and fun and games and pleasure and children and creative endeavors. So really in July, the energy is a lot about Cancer and Leo, that those two signs are occupying a lot of the personal planets, the western sector of the astrological wheel. This is really igniting that 5th house, what you want ignited in summer, right? Fun, relaxation, what you do for leisure and pleasure. So I love that. So that's a good experience, because when he enters there just a week later on the 15th, this is where we hold our new moon every July. That new moon is at 23 degrees of Cancer in this 5th house again. There could be pregnancies happening for those of you who are able and wanting that to occur. New energy in the 5th could be the new child coming in. It could also be a new creative endeavor that you're initiating. One club could come to an end at the top of the month in the full moon, and then another new creative passion, what your passion in the 5th house, could start mid-month on the 15th. You know, you could be removing something from the social calendar in order to fill up with something else. You can't do 120% of things, but you could do as much as you can, and if you're moving things around, you might have more room for something that you are more passionate individually about, what you're more individually passionate about on the 15th. Jupiter is everywhere in Leo, okay? He's just right there. And for you, Pisces, this is your 6th house. The Sun on the 22nd, Mercury on the 23rd will meet up in Leo where Jupiter is, all in your 6th house of health and work and daily routine and your regimen. So when this expansive planet meets up with the Sun, who is the life force, you get some abundant energy in the 6th. There's a lot of healing going on. Also information when Mercury transits again on the 23rd. He's only in Cancer a minute. Just 2 weeks and a day. That's how he's speeding up. And when he goes direct from a retrograde, he tries to make up for lost time. So you have all of these expansive, beneficent planets in the 6th house. This could really bring an ease to the schedule, because the 6th house is the routine and how you're spending the hours of each day. But it also heals the health and can bring a smoothing over in this sector if you've not been feeling well. I can't see a lot of Pisces having a horrible time with health while Jupiter's there because of the abundance and the expansion, but watch the weight, because Jupiter in the 6th can put on the pounds as well as the 1st, but Jupiter in the 6th house tends to do just that, expand. He could easily expand the waistline. So the overall feeling, though, is optimism there. optimism and positivity with Jupiter in the 6th, conjunct the Sun and Mercury. It's a great time to schedule appointments as well if you need them done and handled around that time. And great time for dentist, bone, chiropractic appointments as well. Okay, now on the 25th, Venus, who is in Leo, will just reach the 0-degree mark of Virgo and then decide that she's not ready to fully commit to that sector because she retrogrades before she can even really get in a degree into Virgo. She retrogrades at 0 degrees back through September 9th into Leo, where she'll remain then direct through October 8th. Now, I mentioned this in June and I believe May. I talked a little bit about it as well. But Venus is digging Leo, okay? So Venus is in that sector of health for you, where all of those planets are. This is where the healing comes in. This is the beautification and the smoothing over of that sector for you. I think a lot of Pisces are releasing habits as well. I know that's generally the 12th house, but the 6th is right across from the 12th on the astrological wheel, and I tend to notice in my own personal chart, but as well in astrology, that filters down across the wheel and can really affect the houses in opposition to them. Now, with Venus there in the 6th, there could be a release of something that you're doing too much of, but Venus wants to try to help you present yourself better and beautify the body. So there could be diet, there could be giving up of habit that's bad for you, even not just smoking, but the repetitive thought process or negative patterns in thoughts. So allow that to happen. Allow it to work with you and go with this intuitive feeling, because you're feeling that for a reason. It's a little intuitive nudge. When all these planets meet up in a certain area, there's a message there, and that's where our focus is. And for you, it's the health and the work, and also the 6th house of pets. And 6th house is pets. So there could be an expansion or an abundance to how many animals you're having in the house too, with Jupiter there. So watch for that. That would be interesting. On the 26th, Uranus takes his retrograde. Now, this is not rare because Uranus retrogrades every year and does so for half a year at a time. But this retrograde is at 28 degrees of Aries, where he's been stationed for years. This is your 2nd house, and this is your finances. And what I feel like can be happening, since Uranus is very independent, and when he retrogrades, he tends to really insist upon that autonomy and the rebellion and individuality in the money sector and how you're earning it, and also how you're valuing it and how you're valuing the self-worth. You could go internal when retrogrades in the money sector in processing how you are spending the money. Also, there's surprise with Uranus, and now that's normal surprise when Uranus is direct, but when he retrogrades, it could be a little more abrupt than usual. So keep your eye on your finances, and just because you bank and use checking accounts online, don't rely on them always to know exactly where they're filtering all of your money, and make sure you're double checking all of that with a retrograde in the money sector. And watch your quotes. There's a little mischievous energy to a retrograde Uranus, and for those of you getting work done on the home, or just purchasing a large item or a possession, watch the quotes that you're being given. Talk them down, because you could probably get definitely a lower price here. There's a little bit of who's trying to work you over a little bit when Uranus retrogrades. You will want to rebel at that time in how you're earning your money. I feel like you don't want to conform and don't want too many people controlling how your money is coming in. Now we'll have our second full moon on the 31st. So the blue moon occurs at 7 degrees of Aquarius in your 12th house, Aquarius being the sign directly before you. You know what? How beautiful. Okay, I love a full moon in the 12th anyway, because this is a very psychic placement, and the full moon being the emotions and the intuitive awareness, bringing closure and a culmination to the events in the sector where she is full. This is in the 12th house of psychic ability. A little bit of a double whammy there, because you're becoming aware intuitively. You could get some premonitions and dreams at this time, and bringing closure to a sector of the 12th house, which is the full closure before the first house begins. Because next month is your full moon, Pisces, as it is every year in August. So, our last blue moon was August 31st of 2012. So this is, it's rare. So it's going to be a beautiful day, but definitely go out and check that moon out, because the hue will be magnificent. Let's get to the cards for the month. I want to see what Pisces has going on. And as well, if you'd like to book a reading with me, I'm at audreyallison.com, and I really appreciate all of the clients I've been receiving from YouTube. Honestly, it's been an honor, but it's been a blast, because you all have such tremendous personalities, and I'm getting to read for people all over the world, and it's just a blessing. So if you'd like to book with me, you can reach me there. And thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel, and for liking my Facebook page, Audrey Allison Astrology and Tarot. Okay, I'm using the Alchemical deck by Robert N. Place. It's my Steadfast Treasured deck. Let's see what the cards say for Pisces. Ace of Swords, victory, accomplishment. This could be the achievement of some self-worth that you might be experiencing. Nine of Wands, or Nine of Fire, Nine of Staves. Overcome with passion. Sacrificing something. Temperance represents the card of Sagittarius, but it also means patience, balance, beauty, timing. And the Wheel of Fortune, prosperity, abundance, luck. What comes up must come down, fate, transformation, and change, where Jupiter is in Leo. And the Lover's card came out as well. So that's 3 major arcana cards: lust, attraction. 3 major arcana cards: Wheel of Fortune and Temperance. And I use all 78 cards when I shuffle and drop them in the 4 piles. The last pile, however many are in that, I use totally. There could be 1, there could be 14. I don't have time to give as long readings as I'd like in these forecasts, but that's why I've established a little tarot taster button on my website. Okay, so basically, with some patience and sacrifice. Now, I think I might have mentioned quitting something in this reading, or giving up an addiction, or dealing with the health in the 6th house. With a little bit of that, with you proving a little bit of what it is you want. For instance, say you're a singer. Say you are smoking, and you're a singer, and you have something that you want to release, you want victory, you want something to come out, you want success, you want it to pay off, you want it to bring in something, or you just want a relationship to come in, and you're doing something. You need to quit this in order for this to go forward, or you need to prove a little bit that you can make some sacrifices, that it's not, you don't always have to have your cake and eat it too. It not even applies to love. If you want to draw in the right partner, you'll have victory in doing so, but you might need some patience with this path that you're walking on. See the road behind? And also, you might have to let some things go that you might be attached to in order for that to come in. Think of the 11th house of goals and clubs and friendships. Perhaps you need to release something there where the full moon is on July 1st. And then something new can come in. Okay, thank you, Pisces. Have a beautiful month, and I will see you in August. Wow. Have a sweet day. Bye.